Mauricio Omansky is entering a new stage of life, and according to him, his daughters are very much part of the conversation. In a candid November 2025 interview, the real estate entrepreneur opened up about adjusting to single life more than 2 years after he and Kyle Richards chose separate paths. Though the changes have been significant, Mauricio said they've also brought unexpected clarity. "I'm on my own. I'm single and I'm meeting people," he shared. "It's a different chapter, for sure." He emphasized that while it's been an adjustment, he hasn't been navigating it alone. His daughters, Farah, Alexia, Sophia, and Portia, aren't shy about giving his dad guidance as he steps into unfamiliar terrain. "They always offer their thoughts," he said with a laugh. "Their main message is that they want me to be happy, but they also want me to be thoughtful. They want me to enjoy myself while making choices that reflect where I am in life right now." Mauricio added that his daughters prefer he keep his early dates private and avoid stepping into the spotlight with someone he's just getting to know. "They want things to feel gradual and natural," he explained. A new social life and plenty of attention. Since the separation, Mauricio has been seen spending time with different acquaintances in public spaces, something that has naturally sparked plenty of conversation in pop culture circles. Over the past 2 years, he's been photographed at gatherings, events, and dinners with various women he's gotten to know through friends or mutual connections. The most recent wave of chatter followed an evening he spent with television personality Celisa J. Franco. The two were seen leaving a well-known West Hollywood restaurant together, leading to a fresh round of speculation about whether Mauricio was moving on emotionally or simply enjoying the company of new people within his social circles. Even so, those close to him say that he's still navigating things at his own pace and taking time to figure out what feels right. Kyle Richards reacts to the new reality of their post-marriage lives. Though Mauricio and Kyle have both spoken openly about their separation since announcing it in 2023, the emotional transition hasn't always been easy. Last year, when photos surfaced of Mauricio spending time with a woman during a summer trip abroad, people close to the situation said Kyle found the moment difficult, not because she expected them to reunite, but because it was one of the first public signs that they were truly moving into separate futures. Friends have said Kyle's feelings were shaped by the enormity of the change. After nearly 30 decades of marriage, seeing each other step into new social circles inevitably came with emotions that neither of them could simply switch off. Still, the two have maintained mutual respect and continue to navigate co-parenting and shared family commitments with care. Despite the challenges, they've tried to prioritize what matters most: stability for their daughters and dignity for their family legacy. A new season of self-discovery. As Mauricio continued easing into his life post-marriage, he started reflecting on the ways his world had shifted. For decades, his identity had been tied to being a husband, a father, and a business owner. While those aspects of his life remained, the balance between them felt different now. He no longer woke up to the rhythm of a shared household. He no longer had the structure of a long-standing partnership to lean on when making decisions. In many ways, he was learning how to listen to himself again. Friends close to him said Mauricio had become more introspective. He'd developed a new appreciation for quiet mornings, long workouts, and spontaneous dinners with friends he hadn't had time to see in years. He had also started traveling more, taking short trips to clear his mind or explore places he had always been curious about. Despite the changes, he stayed committed to his family. He rarely went a day without speaking to at least one of his daughters, whether it was a FaceTime call, a quick text exchange, or a conversation about work, relationships, or something as simple as a new restaurant they wanted to try. "There's something freeing about learning who you are again," he admitted, "but at the same time, your kids help keep you grounded. They influence my decisions even when they're not trying to." Pressure from the public eye. Living in the spotlight brought its own unique challenges. While most people navigate a separation privately, Mauricio often found himself navigating his personal life in front of cameras, blogs, and social media. Every dinner, every handshake, every shared smile with someone new seemed to spark speculation. Sometimes the attention amused him, other times it left him feeling misunderstood. He wasn't trying to make headlines. Most of the time, he was simply meeting friends or grabbing dinner after a long day of work. But in an environment where everyone held a camera, even ordinary moments could quickly turn into trending topics. "I've learned to ignore the noise," he said. "People will create their own stories, and that's fine. I know what's true, my family knows what's true, and that's what matters." Still, the scrutiny had long-term effects. It made him cautious, not just for himself, but for the people he spent time with. He didn't want someone else to feel overwhelmed by the attention that came with being in his orbit. His daughter's advice echoed in the back of his mind. Be thoughtful, move slowly, protect your peace. Balancing work and renewal. Professionally, Mauricio remained busier than ever. His real estate company continued to grow, with new international branches opening and digital initiatives expanding their reach. But even work felt different these days. Instead of using his schedule as an escape, he began approaching it with more intention. Colleagues noticed he was more present, more creative, and more willing to explore new projects. He started mentoring younger agents, offering guidance on building confidence, managing stress, and balancing ambition with personal well-being. "He wants to help people find meaning in what they do," one colleague said. "You can tell he's in a reflective period of life." Traveling for work also gave him the chance to reconnect with hobbies he had set aside. In some cities, he stayed an extra day or two just to explore, try new food, or meet with friends who live nearby. In others, he spent time revisiting places tied to old memories, allowing himself to reconnect with versions of his life he had forgotten. "It's like I'm rebuilding my sense of adventure," he said. "I'm saying yes to things I haven't said yes to in years." Navigating the emotions of a long partnership ending. Meanwhile, Kyle continued adjusting to her own new normal. Though they had chosen separation together, the emotional waves came in unpredictable currents. Some days she felt steady, moving forward, focusing on work, spending time with friends, and embracing new routines. Other days, reminders from the past stirred complicated feelings. People close to her described her reaction to seeing Mauricio photographed with someone internationally the previous year as layered. It wasn't about jealousy or expectation. It was the realization that the life they once shared had officially transformed into something new. The images represented a milestone she hadn't been fully prepared to confront. Still, Kyle handled the shift with resilience and honesty, acknowledging that endings come with grief even when they're the right choice. She too had leaned heavily on her daughters, relying on them for support just as Mauricio had. Despite the emotional hurdles, the two continued to communicate respectfully. They understood that they were still raising their daughters, even if the girls were older now. Family events, holidays, birthdays, and milestones still gave them plenty of opportunities to come together. And they did so with grace, aware of how important unity was for the people who mattered most. A family moving forward together. One thing remained true throughout the uncertainty: the family stayed connected. The daughters were a stabilizing force for both parents. Their schedules were busy: work, college, travel, friendships, but they always made time for their parents, encouraging both to stay open-hearted and grounded. "They're the glue," a family friend shared. "They bring balance to everything." They supported their dad through awkward moments in the public eye, offering advice with humor and honesty. They supported their mom by listening, checking in, and reminding her that change didn't detract from the decades of love and memories that defined their family history. Holidays became opportunities to redefine what togetherness meant. They created new traditions, sometimes blending old ones with fresh customs that felt right for the circumstances. Mauricio and Kyle made sure their daughters understood that love remained, just in a different form. The future ahead. Looking ahead, Mauricio insisted he wasn't rushing anything, neither in romance nor in reinventing his life. "I'm not in a hurry," he said. "This is the first time in a long time I've had space to breathe and figure things out. I want to build this next chapter carefully."